Welcome to Flickering Myth Games Chat. I'm Alan Christian, and joining me, we've got Gerald James. Say hello, Gerald. And EJ Marino.
Hello.
On this edition, last edition, we talked about the best video game to movie adaptations. This time, we're talking about the worst, which is a bigger list. Few video game adaptations are okay. There are some that are just okay, and then they made like 3 of them, and you don't understand why. Or 7.
As Angelina Jolie needed money, and
yes. But we're going to talk about the truly bad ones, and some of them are so bad that it's not even like they're just punching bags. We're going to talk about a few of those, but I don't want to just focus on Uwe Boll's filmography, because we could do all of those. Even though one of his made my best adaptation list. We're going to start off with our guest, Mr. EJ Marino. What is one of the worst video game adaptations?
So I'm going to take you back to a year I love. We talked about this year on my last video.
1999?
1999. I had crushes on 2 men, so I watched every movie they were in. We're going to be talking about Wing Commander with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard.
Fuck.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh my God. I forgot this was a thing.
I do not know the video game it is based on. I'm not going to claim.
I played some of the first, it's like 3 or 4. Some of the first like more modern ones, for the ones that had like that like Mark Hamill was it. Like I played some of those, and they're boring for a kid, especially. Like maybe I'd appreciate them more as like a flight sim kind of thing now, but I was bored to tears as a child.
I was bored to tears during this movie as well. But Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. and then Saffron Burrows, who is also an actress I love because she's in Deep Blue Sea. So she really knows how to pick movies EJ really loves because I love trash. Yeah, this movie
not so much to have a good ongoing career though.
Yeah, no. But hey, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard went to go work together. They worked together before on She's All That. Mm-hmm. They would then go to work together on Scooby-Doo movies. So this is just either a combo I love. This movie is just very bad. It just was a movie I remember renting because the boys in it I like. I would see them in the movie Summer Catch a couple years later, baseball movie. Yeah, so again, I follow their careers. They're in this movie. It is very bad. Do not know the video game though. So.
Yeah. Side note, Matthew Lillard, really good actor now. Like, and maybe he always was, but he's like gotten really good roles that maybe he doesn't get a lot of attention for because he's absolutely great in *Halt and Catch Fire*. There's a terrible show with Christina Hendricks.
Good Girls.
Yeah, it's a bad show, but he's good at it. Like, people are good at it. There's talented people making a very terrible show.
I mean, he's one of my favorite parts of Scream. Matthew Lillard, underrated actor, but yeah, no. So yeah, that's my first one. I'm glad I took you both back with Wing Commander there.
Yeah, he threw me off because like that wasn't even like I forgot they made a Wing Commander movie. 100%. I've never seen it. 100% forgot that existed. Thank you.
That was such a solid pick. A solid pick. Oh man.
What have you got, Gerald?
So I left you with a little tease last video saying that there's one that could fit on both. And it's not what you're thinking. It's not what you're thinking. That one's just on here. But Super Mario Brothers. It's so bad as far as a retelling of Super Mario Brothers, but as just a weird ass cyberpunk film,
it's kind of fun. Like it's like this kiddie, like Blade Runner inspired, like weird dinosaur thing. Like
I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
It's somewhere between documentaries on it. It's somewhere between Blade Runner and Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, and you're just like what the fuck is this? It is an insane
Hopper.
movie.
Dennis Hopper is acting.
I would watch Dennis Hopper in anything. Anything. I love Blue Velvet, even though that's one of the worst movies ever made. Like nobody's gonna argue that on the video game thing, thankfully. That's why I saved that opinion for here and not when we're talking about other movies, because Blue Velvet is fucking trash. But I will watch it all day because of Dennis Hopper. So I am way on board with watching him be the weirdest, like Gordon Gekko, King Koopa motherfucker.
The way he says monkeys in this movie is so good. It's just, he's a fantastic actor, but like, again, John Leguizamo, I just think this movie, like, it's just so fun. Like, I don't know, it's, yeah, so I get you, Gerald, but I can see where it's on both, because it is bad. It's just so fun.
Oh, it's like, my favorite thing about that, one, like, whenever I saw that movie when I was younger, I was like, somebody just bought this license and did whatever the fuck they wanted with it. No, Nintendo had complete creative control over this.
Yeah.
And like Nintendo of America executives would get script revision. They'd be like, yeah, I like that this is weird and dark. What a take.
They went to the minds behind Max Headroom and were like, you need to make a Mario Brothers movie.
Well, they went to Roland Joffe, I believe, is the name of the producer. And he made the fucking Killing Fields, that movie about the Pol Pot genocide. Like, that was his like, he was making movies like that. And then he was like, I'm gonna see if I can get this Mario license. Well, big studios were after this license, but Nintendo was like, we'd rather go with the guy that made the Killing Fields.
Yeah, that's like, I can't wait for like Lars von Trier's Zelda movie. Like,
sign me the fuck up.
And then he got the after so many people bailed out, he got the Max Headroom people to make this movie. And it ended up being about what you would expect Max Headroom people to make out of a Mario movie.
Yeah, and then Gerald, you brought up like, well, you know, it's not a great adaptation, but how would you how would you do an adaptation of Mario? It's just it's a weird game that like doesn't work. Some of these just don't work. Like, I think that kind of is how I feel about like
Mario movie.
Yeah, but like
it's animated, and that's a choice, a better choice.
Yes, because I watched some of the animated like Sonic shows and Mario shows, and some of them are fun and stuff like that. So animation is the field for these routes and stuff like that. But I don't think we need like, I don't know, sometimes Max Payne doesn't need to be a movie.
I mean, honestly, the best adaptation of Mario they could have done with what they had at the time was the live action segments of that cartoon, where it's just two Italian stereotypes. Like, just,
Captain Lou.
Yeah, again, it was so terrible, but at least they kind of understood what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were plumbers who loved pizza.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do with Mario? I don't know. All right. Oh my God, you brought up Max Payne, and now I want to go down that route, but I also don't want to go down that route.
Well, that's just going down the mid 2000s. That's Doom. That's Max Payne.
Doom is my my first one here. Oh my God, this movie sucks. It fucking sucks. This is like my I remember watching this movie, or I didn't watch it in theaters. I had no interest in going to see this in theaters as soon as I heard there weren't demons in it. There weren't demons in Doom, motherfucker. They're fucking mutants. They're genetic mutants. But as soon as I watched this on video, like when it came out, on DVD, I was like, is that girl from Die Another Day? Man, she can't catch a break. Look at Rosamund Pike. Like, great actress, worst career. Carl Urban, bless his heart.
It took him forever. It took him until Dredd to really fall into his own, which is a great movie, nothing to do with here, but if anyone's ever wanted a good action movie, that Dredd movie is really good with him.
Yeah,
but
I love that movie.
This cast is bad. I mean, Dwayne Johnson would figure it out, I guess, with Rampage, which some people liked. So, but some people really did. It gets one of those.
It made money.
Fun. It gets like it's fun kind of vibe to it. But yeah, this movie's just cursed with bad like actors, or like good actors in a bad spot.
This is a movie that once again falls into that it's for nobody category. Like, taking demons out, who was that for? Who was that for? Because it's literally like everything else, beat by beat, is Doom 3, which is questionable to begin with. But it's everything about Doom 3 except the fucking demons, which is the only thing that you want from a Doom movie, is them killing demons. But no, they're very bad genetic mutations.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of Doom is we went to Mars, fucked up, and now there's a portal to hell.
And
that's literally the plot.
Yes, that's the whole plot. That's the entire plot. That's the point. I mean,
John Carpenter's Ghost on Mars is a better Doom movie than this movie.
Yes. Paul W.S. Anderson's Event Horizon is a better Doom movie than this Doom movie. No, it's just dog shit. And it might sound like I'm just mad that there's not demons in it, but let me tell you, that's the fucking name of the game. But it's a bad movie otherwise. Like, it's a cheap, terrible Aliens ripoff. One of the many, like, I hate Aliens just for what it did to like Marine buddy movies. Like, those suck. Like, special ops, the special forces, Marines, buddy movies are fucking terrible. And Aliens isn't terrible, but everything that Aliens spawn is fucking terrible. And I always have a grudge on it for it. Same reason I don't like that first Resident Evil movie, because that's also that.
Yep, and that's actually, that one's one that's 50-50 with me.
It's not.
I like
awful.
Those Resident Evil movies is how Jared kind of talks about the like Saw movies for me sometimes, where like I've watched all these Resident Evil movies.
Gerald is also that way on Resident Evil movies.
I've seen all of them but the last one.
And that last one is not great, but I had to finish it. I saw it on midnight just because I was into these movies, just because they were fun. I separated them from the video games a long time ago, and that's sometimes the best trick to do it. Like the Sonic movie that people like that came out recently. If you separate it from the video game, you can see what you can do with it. Resident Evil, I think the best one is 2 when it is just the damn games.
I actually, I like Apocalypse.
And I'm hoping that there is a new one coming up, and it has a lot of good hype to it. The cast, it's just, they're doing 1 and 2. The cast is good. So I have hope that they can actually do the games, because those games are rich with it. We talked about Mario that isn't rich for the adaptation. We talked about things like, I don't think you can adapt Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry. I just don't. Why? Yeah. It's already there. This
Same as adapting Final Fantasy. Like,
yes.
What's the story? Yes. Like, what's the plot?
But I would like to see these. Zombie movies are easy to do. Yeah, and what? At least they kept it. At least they didn't do what Doom did. At least they weren't like. And now they're just. I guess they did make them the Las Plagas, but I blame the games for that. The games went south. The movies did too. So
yeah. Did you just say that the games went south with 4? That's a take that maybe a lot of people aren't gonna love.
I mean, after 4 and some of those ones in between 4, I have Outbreak and all that, but they ain't the greatest games. Like,
I like 4, but it definitely sent it down a path of that I
like,
fell off of.
4 is something I love that game, but I hate what it did. Much like Aliens, where it's like 4 is such a good game. Everything after was like, oh, you guys like that Leon could kick in this game, and I'm like, yeah, cool, it's a feature I like. Oh, so I could just straight up box people in 6. I'm good, bro. Like,
because 5
Resident
and 6
Evil 4 is one of my most hated games of all time. The game isn't bad. The game isn't bad, but every game that followed it single-handedly killed the survival horror genre.
Yep.
Single-handedly, every single one of them had to become action games. It brought like QuickTime events straight into the mainstream, where every game had to have them now. Oh, you like skippable cutscenes? Fuck you. Sit here and watch this one just in case you got to press A at some point.
Yeah, it wasn't really that bad about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that game's good, but everyone took the worst notes from it.
Yeah,
it Dark Knighted all over the place.
Yes.
Ooh, right, Gerald, I missed you. So we
that
haven't
one was
talked about
honestly
him.
on my list. The Resident Evil, the first movie. Yet again, I don't mind the movie. I like
Yeah.
the movie for what it is. Like that laser hallway scene, rad as
Great.
fuck.
I like that
Yeah.
laser hallway scene. It is
But you
good.
give me a zombie movie and you take out the zombies with the exception of a couple of dogs and one at the end. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We're fighting children AI. That's the villain of Resident Evil.
Oh man,
Okay.
Michelle Rodriguez hating that AI was one of my favorite things, though.
That computer's the only logical thing in that movie, though. Like,
I know.
It's just like, oh, this virus got out, slaughter these people and lock them up. Like, yeah, that sucks, but maybe they shouldn't have been working for the evil pharmaceutical corporation that was making this shit. So you're like, yeah, I'm on that computer side, 100%.
I will say this and I'll take it to my grave, and I'm sorry for who it offends. Not really. Paul W.S. Anderson is just as bad as Uwe Boll.
Ooh,
I
no,
think
he made
he's-
Event Horizon. Like, Uwe Boll does
Okay,
not.
back then.
I think he's more sincere, and I think that's I think
You don't get to
like
7 Resident Evil movies with sincerity. He knew what he was doing. He knew that him and his wife had a paycheck just because they were cheap to make and made a lot of money.
Yeah,
that is not sincerity.
And he did do Monster Hunter recently, which wasn't that great either. Tony Jaa,
American Military Monster Hunter.
What the fuck is wrong with Capcom? Like,
don't
hey,
care.
this guy that completely just like trashed the Resident Evil thing, let's just give him Monster Hunter, which is like one of our biggest brands right now.
I'm really hoping they get Mega Man next. I'm just saying.
Oh, I would love the Paul W. Sanders for Mega Man. Like, I am all about it. Like, can't wait. I'm into it.
Oh god.
Into it already. What other trash? What other trash do we have on this list?
So let's take me back to a year. We're not in the 90s. We're in the 2000s. Forget what year it came out. I was at Hollywood Video. I rented House of the Dead. I didn't hate this movie because I was a 13-year-old boy and I loved the shitty editing of it. I loved watching that one Asian girl who didn't know how to act in her little American jumpsuit. I loved this movie. It is the worst movie I've ever seen. And again, I'm a John Waters fan. I will bat for Zack Snyder. We will talk about him in another segment. Oh boy. But I truly hate this movie, even though I still find it to be ridiculously stupid and kind of fun. But that's his movies. Like, he makes bad movies. He's almost like the Tommy Wiseau, where it's just like he makes bad trash. Or what's the really weird Neil Breen, the guy on YouTube who makes he's like this guy who just makes purposely really bad movies, but they're like fun bad, and I kind of get him, but I don't know. All his movies are bad. I think all of them are bad.
Oh yeah,
except for Postal.
No, Postal's bad.
Postal's
Postal's fucking atrocious. It's just a
but
good
it got what it needed. Yes.
I mean, you could literally say every movie he's ever done. Blood Rain, Dungeon Siege, In the Name of the King.
Oh God, that might be his best one.
Well, he did the Far Cry.
Far Cry is.
And I need your opinion on this one because I've never seen it, and it's a horror film, and that's upsetting. Christian Slater, Tara Reid, Stephen Dorff. How bad is Alone in the Dark?
Oh, all the way. That might actually be his best one.
That's not saying much,
level?
But yeah.
Yeah. It's not saying much at all. I'd argue that his best one, aside from Postal, his best one is probably House of the Dead. Can you imagine? Have you ever played a House of the Dead game? Can you imagine if they made a good movie out of that? Can you imagine if they got good actors for House of the Dead? Like,
you know what? It was what it needed to be.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Like, it's way off base from what those games were, but like shitty acting.
They would edit scenes from the video game as the transitions in that movie. That is the transitions of the movie, is just like rail shooting. It's just great. It's so bad. It's one of those just poorly made films. Like, I think Super Mario Brothers is a bad movie. There's like a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
There's
It's a
craft
three-act
services.
structure.
Like Super Brothers had craft services. I don't think Uwe Boll knows what crafty is.
I'm
No.
pretty
It's
sure
just-
craft services was just a table of cocaine for Super Mario Brothers, but yeah.
You can't buy craft services with Nazi gold.
Allegedly, don't sue us.
No, yeah. I think he admitted to it. It was very tongue in cheek, but I think he admitted to
I
it.
mean, he did admit to it in Postal.
Okay. All right. I mean, we could literally sit here and talk about Uwe Boll's entire filmography because, like, Blood Rain is fucking trash. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think we pretty much just named off all of them, but like, Kristanna Loken was already struggling because she was in like really bad Terminator and something else, but then she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go work with this guy," and then that was the end of her career there.
Bless it.
Who else was in Blood Rain?
Michelle Rodriguez.
If I recall, Ben Kingsley.
Oh my god, you're fucking right.
Mhm.
Oh, that means he's like,
Oh, Michael Madsen as well.
of course,
Billy Zane, Meatloaf as well. Meatloaf was in that movie.
Billy Zane. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
Just a
Damn.
quick Hell Zane.
Hail Zane, as always. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. But yeah, entire filmography trash. Far Cry is one of the worst things. To
I didn't
ever
know that
exist.
existed. So
Yeah,
that's
it's Till
crazy.
Schweiger.
That's right.
Yeah, which like why you would cast like this man who's very German as what the hell's the Far Cry guy's name? I can't remember. It's a very, very white man, very American name. Not that Till Schweiger's not a white man. But you said this like the whole sell of Far Cry is that like it's tropical islands, and then you set it in like Vancouver and still give him like the tropical shirt. It's a piece of shit.
We really talked about some trash right now.
Yeah,
That's
like,
great.
there's-
I like this.
Yeah, there's more like shitty video game movies, but like
Oh, of
at a
course.
certain point, I stopped watching them.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see Assassin's Creed starring Michael Fassbender. Like I'm a Fast fan, but I couldn't
I
do
will
it.
say that I did see the whitest Prince of Persia ever. And, mediocre doesn't begin to describe that movie.
Yet another Ben Kingsley joint. What? One day we'll have to dive into this. But has anybody with as much talent as Ben Kingsley ever been in so much fucking shit?
Oh, Al Pacino after 2010.
Fair.
I don't know if he's quite reached the depths of Prince of fucking Persia and Blood Rain.
Samuel L. Jackson, I would say that he might be on the same plane.
Oh, but he made Snakes on a Plane really good though.
He did, but
Ben
He's
Kingsley.
Yeah,
been
but
in
like
lots of
people
things
will
on
come
Persia.
out for a Sam Jackson movie just to be like, what the fuck Sam Jackson gonna yell at? Nobody's like, ooh, Ben Kingsley. You know, I wasn't gonna see this piece of shit, but Ben Kingsley's in it, so I'm in. Yeah, all of them are bad. Sonic the Hedgehog is the worst. No, I literally haven't seen it. Like, I really like past like 2010. I'm just like, I'm not watching video game based movies. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I'm going to get it back around to it. I mean, at least Friday, but
Yeah, try Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat is the first one that has caught my eye where I'm just like, in years, in more than 10 years, or I'm just like, maybe they can do it. It looks like they got it. And most of the response, because it's out everywhere else, like this is like America got it last for once. And everybody else seems to have a pretty positive reaction to it. And I've seen some more clips from it, people sharing like some of the really violent deaths, and I'm in. So
I look forward to that. And we can actually, if you'd like, let's have a conversation about some upcoming game movies.
Yes,
and how bad that's going to be.
In the next video, where we're going to talk about the upcoming ones and some of the ones that we hope get made. So if you want to talk about your least favorite video game based movies, drop a comment down below. I guarantee you we missed some. So let us know which ones we missed. Let us know if you disagree with us on any of these, but not a lot
Alan
of
will
controversy.
personally argue with you in the comments.
Oh, I will. Like that's a built-in feature. I'm nicer than I am in most places, but I will argue with you in the comments. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Comment down below.